What's going on, everybody? Man, before I had my son at 35 years old, I never really put much thought into preparedness, training. I mean, I worked out. I've always been into strength training, cardio, stuff like that. I ran. But it was all for me. Aesthetically, physically, so I would feel good. I never put much thought into the future, I guess you could say, until I had my son. Once I had my son, I started adopting this philosophy of preparedness, I guess. And there's a lot of stuff on Instagram that contributed to that, and YouTube, and different people that would pop up on my feed, and it just sparked a thought and a feeling of how unprepared I actually was, and how, if ever called on to defend my family, would I be able to do that efficiently, correctly. So I started off down this journey. I mean, he's 20 months now. I got a second one on the way here mid-January next year. So yeah, I mean, I've always worked in a semi-dangerous industry. I mean, I'm an inspector in refineries, power plants, nuclear. I worked in nuclear energy for 10 years. I mean, just an industrial type setting. And so, I mean, even now, even when I go to work, I carry my bag with me. When I get in the truck and I'm driving, I'm in the unit right now, and I keep a bag with me with, emergency bandage, hemostatic gauze, tourniquets, stuff like that. I got stuff that I carry every single day. And then in my personal truck, I keep that, but on an amplified level, for 3 individuals. It's going to turn into 4 here soon. I always kind of, they attach words like prepper, paranoid. It's kind of like what they did with the conspiracy theorist phrase. You know what I mean? They almost, they demonize it. They turn it into something that's laughable, when it's really not. I mean, what's wrong with having extra food, extra water? What's wrong with having means to defend yourself, ammunition, knives? What's wrong with having particular sets of skills, I mean, lighting a fire when things are wet around you, and staying warm, and knowing how to navigate. I never understood. I mean, even some of my family members, pick at me and stuff like that, and make fun of me. And ever since I moved out of the city and I live in more rural areas now, where I travel across the country a lot. I'm in rural areas where weather can kill you. Not having enough gasoline, breaking down in the area where there's no cell phone reception, and not having means of survival in your truck. I mean, the winter can kill you. The heat can kill you. I mean, the topography can kill you if you're not fit and you can't move around and you're not agile and mobile. And it's something to think about. And I'm not a paranoid type. I mean, I try to look at everything with discernment and reason and logic. And I'm not really into doom scrolling that much, but it's impossible to hide from the stuff that's going on in the world nowadays. It is what it is. I'm 37 years old. I've never felt so uncomfortable financially, physically. People are stressed out. We're nearing the holiday seasons right now, and I mean, it just gets worse around the holiday season. So I've listened to a lot of guys talk about it, and it's influenced me. So that's why I'm talking about it. I think more people need to talk about this. I don't think the guy that's prepared needs to be deemed as crazy. I think that, as neighbors, as people that live in neighborhoods together, as a community, I need to be able to rely on my neighbor. I need assets, not liabilities. So that's why I praise these guys that talk about this and get this message out here, and guys that are way better at it than I am, that actually train people and do stuff like that. I think it's awesome. I mean, why would you want a bunch of liabilities around you? If anything ever happens and these people ain't prepared and don't know how to defend themselves, when they run out of stuff, what are they going to do? They're going to come for your stuff. And I don't care how prepared you are. I mean, you can only hold so many guns at once. You know, it's better overall for the community for us to be cognizant of what's going on around us, for us to practice situational awareness, for us to be able to defend ourselves, defend our families, defend our neighbors if need be, to be able to have excess ammo and excess goods for trading and bartering and, you know, helping your neighbors out and stuff like that. And, you know, I feel like, especially right now in this country, at least to me, I mean, people are divided, doesn't even describe it, man. I mean, almost, there's a chasm between us. There's a distance. Everybody's pulled away from the community and went inward, you know. I mean, myself included. I'm not a very social person. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't go to neighborhood barbecues and cookouts, and I don't partake in the festivities that your average person partakes in. Not a big drinker. That's due to years of drinking. You know, that's a personal decision. That's not a way that I want to live. It's hard to find that tribe. And a lot of guys that I follow constantly harp on that tribe, and I think that that's one area that I'm lacking in. So, you know, I'm making this video, kind of reaching out, talking about content that's important to me, hoping that maybe I can connect with other people that feel the same way, that are also looking for a tribe, that hold people that they care about accountable for their actions and expect certain behaviors out of them, and expect a certain level of character. You know, when I was young, everybody was a friend. You know, what's that saying? A friend to all is a friend to none. You know, I can't be everybody's friend. I don't have time to have everybody in my life, and you know, people don't meet the standard. I mean, I'm by no means perfect. I fall short as well sometimes, but you know, the couple people that I have in my life, they call me out on it, and I correct it. And that's what I think we need to do as men, as a community, as fathers raising sons. You know, so I'm just hoping this gets to somebody, and you know, maybe they feel like I feel and reach out. You know, I live in the Salt Lake City metro area. I'm moving back down to southern Utah about mid next year, down by Cedar City at Parowan. Yeah, let's talk about this more. Let's spread the word. What do you got? What tricks do you have up your sleeve? How could you help me? How could I help you? You know, let's start talking about that. Let's start being a little bit more neighborly. All right.